Forced to work from home by your employer? Laid off or feeling depressed at home? Do you want to make money working from anywhere? We'll show you how to do it from your couch. It's time for another episode of the Work From Home Show. Coming to you from their homes in Austin, Texas and Tampa, Florida, here are your hosts, Adam and Naresh.
Welcome back to another episode of the Work From Home Show. I'm Naresh Vissa along with Adam Schrader, and we have a very, very well-renowned guest today. His name is Dr. Stephen Hotze, and this is the first time I'm talking to Dr. Hotze, but I actually, growing up in Houston, Texas, my daily routine was to read the Houston Chronicle before I went to school and on my drive to school. And I would see his name pop up from time to time in the Houston Chronicle. And when the opportunity presented itself to interview the one and only, the legendary Dr. Hotze, I said, we absolutely have to get him on the Work From Home Show. He's the founder and CEO of the Hotze Health and Wellness Center and president of the American Academy of Biologically Identical Hormone Therapy, otherwise known as AABIHT. And he's the best-selling author of Hypothyroidism, Health and Happiness, The Riddle of Illness Revealed, and the book Hormones, Health and Happiness, a Natural Medical Formula for Rediscovering Youth with Bioidentical Hormones. Dr. Hotze, welcome to the Work From Home Show.
So glad to be with you, Naresh and Adam. God bless you guys. Welcome to greetings to each one of you and all your listeners from Houston, Texas.
Yeah, my wife was the same as Naresh. Whenever I mentioned we were interviewing you, she was like, "Oh yeah, I know him." She's from the Tomball area. So.
Oh, is that right? Well,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah, Dr. Hotze, if you can just kind of give us a little bit of background on what kind of doctor you are, how long you've been practicing, what differentiates you from the other standard doctors out there. I think that would be helpful to set the base for our listeners.
In 1976, I graduated from University of Texas Medical School here in Houston, and I had a banquet held for me by my father. And at that banquet, my dad leaned over the table and said to me, and he was a very successful entrepreneur, leaned over and said, "Son," I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Don't poison your patients like all the other doctors do. Do you understand me?" And I said, "Yes, sir." Well, that wasn't a request. It wasn't a suggestion. It was a command. And I respect and revered my dad and admired him. He was very successful in his business. And I'm the oldest of 7 boys. And so he planted that seed in my mind, which ultimately gave birth to the Hotze Health and Wellness Center in 1989. So I've been practicing medicine for 44 years. And at my centers and clinics, we've seen over 40,000 patients. So I have clinical experience with dealing with sick patients and patients that really were unhealthy because they visited so many conventional doctors and were on so many drugs that they were getting sicker quicker. So what we do here is we help patients obtain and maintain health and wellness naturally. So as they mature, Naresh and Adam, so as they mature, they've got energy, they've got vitality, and they've got enthusiasm for life. They feel good and they're glad to be alive, no matter what age they are. That's our goal, and we do it without pharmaceutical drugs. And we use a simple program, a simple 8-step program. We treat for airborne and food allergies. That's how I got into natural approaches to health, because allergies wear down the immune system. Is an abnormal reaction by a person's immune system to normal substances. Right now, we're in tree pollen season. So if you're sneezing and coughing and have congestion, it's not going to be due to the coronavirus. It's going to be due to the allergens you've got in the environment primarily. But that wears down your immune system. Treatment of yeast. People take antibiotics. Antibiotics can kill bad bacteria, but they kill healthy bacteria in your gut, and you get yeast overgrowth. The yeast produces toxins that depress the immune system. So you've got to go on a yeast-free eating program. People, as they age, their hormone levels go down. Thyroid, sex hormones, adrenal hormones, those need to be replenished. And Americans eat very poorly, so they don't get the proper vitamins and minerals and nutrients they need. And we encourage vitamin and mineral support in order to enable the cells to detoxify, produce more energy, and build up the immune system. Finally, we recommend exercise and a good night's sleep. You do those things, your immune system can be healthy, and you can tolerate viruses and bacteria which you come in contact with. Now, let me explain to you. Listen to me, folks. This is really important. You're not going to hear this from any of the government employed health bureaucrats most of which, I'll just tell you, fallacy of which has never been in clinical practice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He graduated from med school in 1966 at Cornell, and 2 years later, he went to work for the National Institute of Health. He's been there for 52 years, and he hasn't had a clinical practice. So he doesn't know how to treat patients.
He's just a government worker. He's
a government worker, for crying out loud. He's a bureaucrat, and he doesn't have any idea of the real world. Well, I do, because I've been in practice for 44 years, and I did emergency medicine. I saw all kinds of diseases. I didn't wear masks or anything. I had people with pneumonia, with meningitis, tuberculosis, you name it. I've been around all kinds of infectious diseases, and I'm healthy, as have most people in medicine. We didn't walk around with all this gear on, except if we were in surgery, because we didn't want to give anything we had to the patients in surgery. Now, let me explain. You're in charge of your health. The government's not in charge of your health. Neither is your doctor. Neither is the insurance company, your employer, or a politician. No politicians are in charge of your health. Your spouse is not in charge of your health. You and you alone are in charge of your health, and you can decide to live a healthy life or not. It's not up to anybody but you. And how do you do that? You eat healthy. So you cut out all the simple carbs and convert to sugar. Sugar is highly inflammatory. Sugar depresses the immune system. Sugar causes your insulin levels to go up. It deposits all the sugar in the fat. You get fat. You get high blood pressure. You get prediabetes and diabetes. You get heart disease. You get kidney problems. You get Alzheimer's disease. You get a stroke. You get a host of health problems from eating unhealthy. Eat healthy, folks. Just like Mama said, eat your greens, son. Eat your greens. You never have any simple carbs. Oh, you can have some, but you don't make that. Most people's diet in America is pizza, pasta, cookie cakes, donuts. Come on. That's what most people are eating. And so that depresses the immune system. The second thing, we recommend eating healthy and then taking vitamins and minerals. And let me leave you with this. I know you want to make a comment here, and I tend to dominate things because I'm so.
No, keep going.
I'm very passionate about this. Yeah, folks, write this. Look, you shouldn't have to write this down, but you may. Here's what you do to build up your immune system. And nobody talks about this on TV. Not any of these government-employed bureaucrat health experts. None of the conventional medical gurus. They don't talk about it because they don't know about it and they don't believe in it. I wasn't taught about it. I had to learn it myself with our guests. You've got to build up, and you can build up your immune system. How do you do that? A, B, C, D, and Z. What is that? Vitamins A, B complex, high doses of vitamin C, vitamin D in the D3 form is the best. Zinc, and also take probiotics. That's important, and so that's what I recommend. And how much do I recommend? Take 5,000 to 10,000 units of international units of vitamin A. Take a good, strong B complex. Vitamin C, I've always recommended 1,000 milligrams per 25 pounds of body weight. It's a wonderful antioxidant. It's antiviral at high doses. If you take it regularly, antiviral. Guess what? It will kill viruses because viruses cause oxidation. It's an antioxidant. It will also help you prevent getting heart disease. And the only mammals that don't make vitamin C are humans, monkeys, and guinea pigs. All the other mammals and all the other vertebrates in God's creation make 1,000 milligrams per 25 pounds of body weight, and they double that when they get sick. So vitamin C is important. Vitamin D, I recommend 5,000 to 10,000 international units a day. Magnesium, 30 to 60 milligrams, and then take a probiotic to keep good, healthy bacteria in your gut. Now, folks, we're creating a bunch of neurotic germaphobes. I'm going to tell you germaphobes out there right now. You think, if I just wash my hands, and clean off the spray on top of the table and counter, and I'm going to get rid of all the germs in my life. Oh my gosh, there are germs out there. Sir, hey, germaphobes, listen to me. In your body, you've got trillions of bacteria. If you weigh 200 pounds, you've got about 4 or 5 pounds of bacteria in your large intestine. You've got 100 trillion, as in T, trillion, bacteria in your body. You've got 600 trillion viruses. You come in contact with it since the day you were born, when you came through the birth canal. All the bacteria in your mother's vagina covered your body. That's part of the natural process. Everywhere in your rooms, wherever you are, They're viruses and bacteria. God has given you an immune system that builds up blocking antibodies to block these bacteria. And we develop herd immunity when we're around people and we share these various viruses and bacteria with one another, so we shake hands with people. And guess what? We pick up some of their germs. Our body builds up blocking antibodies to them. We call this herd immunity. And when you quarantine and you move everybody completely away so they don't come in contact with anybody else, when they do come in contact, guess what? That virus out there has been smoldering and it's going to leap onto you like a dog on a biscuit. You're not going to be ready for it because you got no herd immunity. And that's going to cause a resurgence in a month or 2 months. And then they're going to want to shut everything else down. So get yourself healthy. This is what I recommend. Get yourself healthy by eating healthy and cutting out your simple carbs as much as possible so you don't have a high sugar intake. And that's the simple carbs, like all the grain products, corn, potatoes, and rice all convert to sugar. So eliminate those. Eat good, healthy greens, some meat, eat good salads, eat good, healthy oils and fats, eat eggs, eat bacon, eat butter, eat avocados. You can have coconut oil, olive oil, fish oil. You can have nuts. You can also have hard cheeses. All that's good for you. That'll keep you healthy. You'll lose weight. You'll feel great. You'll be energetic. You won't have sugar highs and sugar lows, and you'll have a healthy immune system. Then take your vitamins A, B, C, D, and Z. With probiotics, you do that, you can build up your immune system. That's what we recommend here at the Hotze Health and Wellness Center. And then go out with people and meet people. Now, I don't want to be cavalier about it. If for those individuals that are elderly, infirmed, and debilitated, particularly people at nursing homes or people that ought to be in nursing homes, they're sick and they're home, and people that have underlying health, pre-existing conditions, heart disease, they've got congestive heart failure, they got chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, emphysema, they've got diabetes or other health problems. Those people should sequester themselves, stay away. The rest of us need to get back to work, build herd immunity and get the economy going, because in the long term, the adverse effects of shutting down this economy are going to be so detrimental to the public health and to our economic health, it will be unbelievable. And we don't have but a few weeks to get our things back on track. Or listen, I've read where the head of the Federal Reserve in St. Louis, and I'll give you the guy's name. His name is James Bullard, St. Louis Fed president, said the coronavirus economic freeze could cost, listen to this, folks, 47 million jobs, a 32% unemployment rate. Oh, how would you like to be like Venezuela? The socialists come in and take over. Now we don't have any food at all, and everybody's starving to death and dying and sick. And we've got the socialists in charge telling us that we've got to social distance ourselves. We can't go to work. We can't go to public events. We give away all our constitutional rights because they have scared us into thinking that this is the worst pandemic in the world. And folks, it's not. People are dying every day. Every day in America, there are thousands of people dying. 2.8 million people die every year. And that works out to something on the order of 7,000 people, 7,700 every day. Heart disease kills 1,800 people. 1,800 people died yesterday of heart disease. About that many die of cancer every day. They die of a host of problems from bronchitis, from lower respiratory infections, bronchitis, to suicide, to car wrecks. People are dying all the time. Why all of the flu? The flu has been much more deadly every year to the population than the coronavirus is. I'm not dismissing that the coronavirus we shouldn't be concerned about it, but to have this irrational fear, this panic, this mass hysteria is absolutely ridiculous. And basically what the government, these officials have done, guys that they've got power. They can tell you not to go to work. They can tell you not to go to church. We have given up all our constitutional freedoms to a bunch of guys that are seeking power and that are a bunch of tin pot dictators. I don't accept it at all. I think we ought to get ourselves back to work. And I've written a letter and I sent it FedEx today to the president saying, get us back to work. You don't need to shut down everything. Get Americans back to work. That's what we need to be doing. Get our economy going again. we're going to destroy an entire, people say, well, we got to save lives. Sir, I've got a life. My family's got a life. All the people that work for me have a life. All my patients have a life. You're going to destroy our lives by shutting everything down. And you're going to do what we call all-out war. You're going to be a shotgun approach, and everything's going to be destroyed, trying to save a few people with coronavirus. And you're going to kill thousands of others, maybe tens of thousands, 100,000, completely change the life on this planet. And then we're going to turn and let the socialists take over and tell us how to lead our lives. That's not for me, sir. I don't believe that's what ought to be done. We ought to have a surgical approach. We ought to have a rifle approach. Sequester those people that could be severely impacted by the problem. Everybody else, get back to work.
Wow. That was, okay, so you answered like 8 of the questions that I was going to ask you. So I just...
Sure, this is my 56th program nationwide that I've done. I've been on from Long Island to San Diego, from Portland to Miami to Minneapolis, all across the South, Dallas, Houston, you name it. We've been there. And Tampa, we've been there once before. I can't remember whose program we were on. So anyway, looked down in Tampa. There was a pastor there, held a service, got arrested.
Yeah. Yeah, he got arrested.
Oh, well, listen. Well, how can these Christians go to church? That's unchristian. You'll be sharing the virus and spreading it all over the county and all over the country. Oh, but we can go to a Home Depot. We can go to a grocery stores. We can go to liquor stores. Oh, gosh, the liquor store, for crying out loud. And people are circulating there, not in the tens, in hundreds. They're all walking around, getting their stuff. Nobody seems to care about that, but you can't go to church. Oh, no, we can't do church because it's not an essential service.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, and then I'll let Adam ask his question. But first off, thank you for sharing your forthright commentary and truth, really, because I don't even need to say it, and I haven't said it on air because our show is about working from home, but you basically said almost everything that I've been thinking and telling my friends in private. So, thank you for that. I think it's very important that we get our economy back up and running. And just looking at the data, I've been saying from day one, just look at the data, look at the data, look at the data. And so I agree with you for sure.
So you were telling us about the A, B, C, D, Z, and you mentioned the levels that people, that you suggest people look at and take.
Right.
What does the average American usually get in their everyday diet? So how much will they need to supplement? Like, what's the average level?
Sir, people are so... When you eat junk, when you eat all those simple carbs, you get none. All the simple carbs, you go buy bread, it says enriched bread. Why did they have to enrich it? Because they stripped all the vitamins and minerals out of it. So they got to throw some vitamins back in there. Look, all those products that convert to sugar have little or no vitamin or mineral content. Now, if you eat greens, you're going to be good. But, sir, we're not talking about getting a ridiculous deficient amount that the FDA says. We're talking about having vitamins and minerals to treat these diseases. Vitamin C will cure viral diseases and bacterial diseases, sepsis. That's been shown. There are literally 50,000 studies on PubMed about the benefits of vitamin C, but the conventional medical doctors will not talk about it. You know why? Because they're controlled by the pharmaceutical companies, and the pharmaceutical companies don't want anybody healthy and well, sir, period. They want you to be on their drugs day in and day out the rest of your lives. You to them are simply a cash cow, and they want to cash in on that. And so anybody like myself, any doctor that does natural approaches to health, and sir, I've got a huge practice, and I do a cash-based practice, and people pay me cash to get healthy and well. I don't take insurance. You know why I don't? Because insurance companies won't allow me to get people healthy and well naturally. People healthy and well because they want people sick, so their premiums go up, and they make a percentage of profits off the premiums. It's all about money. This whole virus deal, in my opinion, is all about control. It's about power. It's all about money. Here's what we're going to have. They're going to suppress any dissent, and they're going to manipulate the stock markets, and they're also going to mandate medical treatment. You can see this thing coming, mandated vaccinations. Who's pushing for that is old Bill Gates and that whole bunch who has hundreds of $1 million invested in the pharmaceutical companies that make vaccines. And they're going to mandate it. They're going to mandate vaccines. Oh, that's the way to cure the problem. No, the way to cure the problem is what we've done historically, build herd immunity. That's the way you do it. Sure, some people get sick. That's just life in the big city. We've all been exposed to viruses and bacteria all our life. But aren't you sitting there talking to me today? Aren't I sitting talking to you today? I'm 69. If I didn't have an immune system, I'd have been a goner a long time ago, but I got an immune system and I'm doing well and I'm not scared. Besides that, I'm a Christian, and it says in the Bible very clearly, we are not to have a spirit of fear, but of power and love and sound mind. So I suggest for those of us that have a Christian faith, use your common sense, for crying out loud. Look at the figures, add them up. The figures they give us don't add up. Why? Because they don't want them to add up. They want you to be scared to death. As a matter of fact, I heard today that there were some people that had been reported that they weren't living in fear, and they had been reported to the police that they weren't living in fear, and they're under possibility of being arrested for not living in fear.
Ridiculous. So, Dr. Hotze, tell us a little bit, as far as work from home goes. It's a different lifestyle. Obviously, a lot of people right now are locked down at home, but this is going to be permanent for a lot of industries, a lot of jobs, where the employers are going to say, hey, you can do your job at home now. We don't need to pay the rent on the office space. So how does that change health-wise? What recommendation do you have for work from home workers? What do they need to do to stay
sir,
home?
people work from home. We know this with the technology advances. There's a lot of work that can be done at home. Sales can be done from the home. They can go out and meet in person, or if you're doing phone sales, that doesn't have to be done in an office. I particularly, in our center, we have somewhere in the order, we've had up to 100 on staff in our three businesses. We have Hotze Health and Wellness Center, Hotze Vitamins, and Hotze Compounding Pharmacy, and then also Hotze Elite Physicians. So we have a number, we're a good-sized, middle-sized business, okay? And I like people at work because it generates energy. You're around other people that are excited and enthusiastic, and everybody works together as a team. It's like playing a football game. If everybody sat at home and we just did it on a computer, say we had the same football teams we have in the National Football League, but we had every one of the players at home on a computer, and they were doing their jobs on a computer. It wouldn't be quite as exciting. There wouldn't be all the people wouldn't be. What if everybody watched that? There's no excitement to it. There's no enthusiasm. So I don't like my folks to work out of the home. Although we do have some. I have one person that works in sales from California for us. But other than that, I like them working here. But a lot of companies, they can cut down on their overhead and people can do their job online. That's fine. I don't think it changes anything about the way you should live your life or how you can be healthy, whether you're at work or whether you're at home. Eat healthy, please. Just eat healthy, okay? That's really important. And that would include intermittent fasting. You don't need to eat 3 meals a day, folks. You really don't. If you go look at yourself in the mirror, 70% of you are going to look at yourself and you're going to realize you're carrying around too much weight. Well, what does that cause? Well, when you carry 70% of the population is overweight in America. In Europe, it's only 16%. 70% is overweight. Half of those people, 35%, are obese. What does that lead to? High blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, strokes, Alzheimer's, kidney disorders, degenerative arthritis, cancer. Hello? You want to get yourself healthy and well? Take care of your health. Eat right, get down to an ideal body weight. That's what you need to do. So the first and most important thing you can do is change your eating lifestyle, whether you're working at work or whether you're working at home. That's the most important thing you can do. Then I get on a good vitamin and mineral supplementation. That's what I recommend. And I've only recommended this for 30 years. And, sir, I take more vitamins. I bet there's not a person in the country that takes more vitamins and minerals than I do. I know that because I have a large multi-million-dollar vitamin company, which I didn't learn about in med school. I had to learn this later in life when my dad had a health problem. He asked me, son, this doctor, he had a health problem with his heart. And he said, he read something. He said, this doctor says I need vitamins. What do I need? This was in 1989. I said, Dad, I don't know anything about vitamins. I'm a doctor. He said, would you please find out? And I did. So anyway, so if you ask down in my vitamin store, Hotze Vitamins, you say, who takes more vitamins than anybody in this, of all your clients or all your customers, all your patients? They go, Dr. Hotze, I take a ton. And I feel like $1 million. I'm 69. I'm going and blowing all the time. We got a 10-year plan. We know what we're doing. And I feel great. I could keel over dead tomorrow. But guess what? I won't have lingered.
So looking at, just talking about the herd immunity there, but then we were talking about the deaths from cars and from all of the other issues. Do you think society would end up with more people? And, if we all did start working from home, would that kind of lead to fewer deaths across the nation then?
Well, people didn't drive. You're not going to have as many. It'd cut down if people didn't drive. You'd cut down on the deaths and traffic accidents.
Right, but even if we lose the herd immunity somewhat, do you think that would be offset? Or
no, because what's going to happen? I don't think it's going to make any difference because people are going to go out. You think people are going to sit at home? As I said, your wife's going to let you sit home all the time with her. She's going to stare at you, and you're going to be doing this the rest of your life. I don't think so. She's going to say, "Honey, why don't we go out and have dinner? Why don't we go for a walk in the park? Why don't we go to the grocery store together? Why don't we do something together?" There's going to be, why don't we go to a concert? People are going to intermingle, even if you work at home. I can't see it making any difference.
Okay, so how much interaction do we need with other people to build up the herd immunity then?
Just what we're doing regularly, for crying out loud. We've been doing this since the beginning of mankind. What is this whole? I'm telling you what, you all need to go look at. There are two things you ought to go look at. George Carlin, you know who he is? He's an old comedian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He did a video, and it's entitled "Germs and Immune." What you do is go on your Google, YouTube, George Carlin germs. Watch that. George Carlin makes more sense on this whole situation, and he's dead. He makes more sense than all the people I watch on TV. I wish the president had George Carlin as his right-hand guy telling him what he says in that video about. And George Carlin says, how am I going to build up my immune system if I don't come in contact with any germs, for crying out loud? I've got to build it up, and I've got to have something to fight. Well, he makes the point, and here's the point I make. Think about it. If you were a boxer and you had a big boxing match come up, world heavyweight title, Naresh or Adam, you're in there, you're ready to fight for that title. What are you going to do? You're going to train. You're going to spar. You're going to knock down. You're going to knock the bags. You're going to spar with your partner. You're going to run. You're going to jump rope. You're going to lift weights. You're going to get yourself in. You're going to eat right. Get down to a good body weight. You're going to be prepared. So when you meet that big sorry son of a gun, you can be ready to KO him so he doesn't KO you, right? Well, if you just drag around and don't take care of your health and never exposed to anything, you're going to eat like heck, and you're going to be big and fat and overweight and have diabetes and heart disease, and you're going to stay at home. Now you're going to go out and say, well, what's going to happen? Some big old virus or bacteria is going to glom onto you like a dog on a biscuit and eat you alive. And he's going to melt your interiors into everything, and you're going to die. Why do that? Why don't you be healthy and well? That's what I tell people. And look, I don't have any. Here's my look. I'm a pretty hardcore guy. I'm choleric. I have got, which means my compassion. I'm not high on the compassion list. Let's get the job done, guys. If you're not healthy, get healthy. I can't make you do it. I can make recommendations on what you want to do. You want to be in that. Every one of you, and you two included, and your wives, your family, your listeners. Every one of you is in the Health Olympics, whether you like it or not. And you can either take recommendations on how to get healthy, or you can refuse. If you want to get healthy and win a gold medal, you follow the recommendations. If you don't, you're not going to get them. You're going to get sick, and you're going to die of some disease, whether it's an infectious disease or whether it's some disease of aging, like heart disease or Alzheimer's or stroke. That's what's going to happen to you. It's your decision. Most people in America are driving down the wrong way on the highway, going the wrong way, and they're going to come to an overpass, and they're going to get whacked, and they're either going to have a severe health problem or they're going to die. My recommendation is get yourself turned around, get on the right side of the health freeway, and do whatever you have to do now. When you two guys are young, right now is when you need to be sowing the seeds of good health. So when you get to be my age, you're healthy and you're strong and you're vibrant like I am, and you're going and blowing. You're not sitting around overweight and waiting to go into a nursing home, and nobody wants to talk to you because you can't remember anything. You don't want to be like that. You want to be healthy, and to be healthy, you've got to take charge of your health. You're responsible, and that's what I highly recommend to your listening audience to do. And that's talking hard. I'm not trying to be pretty, and frankly, I don't take care of people at our center that don't want to take care of themselves. If you're not interested in taking care of yourself, there are plenty of doctors that'll give you a pill, an antidepressant or a sleep medication or anti-anxiety pill. You go get those and live your life the way you want to do it. If you want to get healthy and well, you come here. We'll get you on Hey, it's like a football coach. You think Nick Saban puts up with guys at Alabama that don't want to win a national championship? You don't have anything to do with them. Don't play ball for Tulane or somebody else. You ain't going to play ball for me. That's what you need to have. We need to call people back. If we spent all the time and money we're spending on this stupid coronavirus situation, you think about the trillions of dollars and lost income. If our public health officials were telling us to eat healthy and what to eat, not to eat all these grains, and cut out the sugars and eat healthy, and they were harping to us all the time. Eat your fruits, eat your vegetables, and really encouraging people to do that. Get on your vitamins and minerals and get yourself healthy. We could save the mortality and morbidity rate would go down dramatically in America. But instead, we're not even building ourselves up to solve this problem. What we're doing is hiding. Since when do Americans hide? Look, go to Normandy and see what happened there. We had young boys that were in their teens and early 20s that charged the beach with machine guns. They knew a lot of them were going to get killed, but they charged that beach. They had courage. Well, let's get some courage in our society. This isn't the first time we've had, an infection come across America. By golly, this happens routinely every 2 years, and they give us the same story. Now they just happen to come up with this idea that we're going to quarantine everything, and they created so much fear, so much hysteria, so much panic that the average sheep will just fall over and go, yes, sir, we'll do whatever you say to do because we don't want to die. We're going to die. Well, you're not going to die if you get the coronavirus unless you've got some pre-existing condition. And even then, you probably are not going to die. Only 1% to 2% of the people that get this die, and most of the people that get it are people that have underlying health conditions. So what I want to tell people, come on, guys, put on your pants. Let's get back to work. Don't expect, if you sit around thinking about getting sick all the time, guess what? You're going to attract that thing. That's what's going to happen. I'm just a big believer in you are what you think about and what you do. So if you have the wrong thoughts, you're going to have the wrong feelings. If you have the wrong feelings, you're going to have the wrong actions. You have the wrong actions, you're going to get a bad result. Change the way you think.
All right, Dr. Hotze, thanks for joining us for this episode of the Work From Home Show. For anybody who wants to find out more about Dr. Hotze, go to HotzeVitamins.com. That's HOTZE vitamins.com. Or go to HotzeHWC.com. Again, HOTZE HWC.com, and we will have Dr. Hotze back next episode to talk more about what's going on with the COVID-19 coronavirus. So until next time, keep on working from home.